What is up, Moose Knuckles? JJ back here with the crew talking a little PGA again. Last week's show, I don't have exacts. I'm not going to sit here and give you the gigantic ROI. I mean, a few of us had Cantlay. I know Streel Daddy from Mangone came through with a few bets for him. And ultimately we had a few nice sweats as well on Sunday. Overall, good show. Looking to build on some momentum here. Now, this week, Palmetto Championship. I've also seen this referred to as the Palmetto Champs. Maybe you guys can tell me why I see it, the two different names. Either way, this one's at Congaree. And before we go a little into DFS as well with these guys, but ultimately Snyder, you want to just talk on the course real quick, brief breakdowns, why it's different than last week, little things?
Snipes.
Yeah, I can talk on. I didn't hear you, but this course is gonna be first time they've ever been here. PGA Tour here. It's got some wide fairways, bigger greens. It's gonna be quite different. It's gonna be more like that YLA golf course with 152 acres of sand. The players are able to ground their clubs in there. It's gonna play fast and firm, but I have seen that they have been getting some rain lately. So it could play slightly softer, they're saying, as it has in the last couple days, but it could possibly get back up fast and firm. There's some long par fours here. There's going to be 3 of them playing over 500 yards, which is going to be tough. All 3 par 5s are going to play at 580 or longer, so it's definitely going to have some length here. And if it plays a lot softer, I mean, it's really you're going to need some distance off the tee and long iron play. It's got 10 holes with water in play. Yeah, I mean, no rough here at all, which is interesting as well. It's got some runoff areas around the greens, making around the green play prevalent, and I think that's about it. I mean, UncleT can add some if he wants.
Yeah, I mean, you broke it down pretty good. It is a long course. It's actually, I think I saw over 7,600 yards. And it'll play as the longest par 71 course on tour. However, it won't play that long because a lot of these holes are going to be downwind. Like Snyder mentioned, though, there has been some rain. So I've heard it's going to play fast and firm. But again, if there's been some rain, maybe it won't play as fast and as long. Maybe you'll need to target maybe more, bombers off the tee. But no, I mean, he broke it down really well. Again, no rough, which is interesting. Bryson should have played this week if there's no rough. I don't know why he didn't play, my boy, but if there's no rough. But, yeah, it's going to be fun. The one thing to mention that's going to be interesting to see, this is obviously taking the place of the RBC Canadian Open just for 1 year, right? I think this venue is trying to get a normal PGA Tour stop since they can't go across the border to Canada for obviously the COVID stuff. They're going to make this a 1 year thing, but I think they're going to want to make it to where they can, make it where people are going to be interested to maybe come back or maybe to get a tour event going forward. So I think they're going to try to make it set up to where the guys can make some birdies, but the course defense always is wind and where they can set up the pins, right, Snyder? So, if we get out on Thursday and maybe 6, 7, 8 unders leading where it's playing easy, they can always set the course up to where, maybe they back it off a little bit, make it a little bit tougher for the guys on the weekend.
Now, also, I didn't even do like any intros. I just kind of went in rogue, like an Irish hello on this. Also, lights are flickering here. It's probably because my house is haunted, so pay no mind to that. But as you guys can see, I brought the hat back. We had some good mojo last week, and we have Snyder, UncleT, Bobby Gomes. Mangone is, I don't know, home jerking off. Either way,
that's even, right?
Even money.
Even money. He might be watching.
Even money right there.
He might be watching the show jerking off. I mean, for all we know. But no, seriously. Thanks, guys, for doing this. And as we did last week, we'll talk a little on DFS. And Snyder, I'll start with you, the guy that's getting all the tough questions early on. Who are some of your what I'll call maybe your favorite value look on the DFS? Again, no crazy details from anybody. No, don't want to go into everything here, DFS. I want this to be a bet show, but maybe your favorite guy on the entire slate on DraftKings.
The favorite guy I got up top would be Terrell Hatton. He's right around 10.2K. on DraftKings. It's been strong play. He's got some strong iron plays. Around the green play has been good. I think he'll be one of the guys that'll be actually trying to win this event. I mean, some of the other guys up top, I think they're going to show up and in and out. They're not really going to put much into this event as the U.S. Opens next week. Brent Snedeker, he's in that 8K range. That's a guy I'm really targeting. He's been strong short game. He's been real strong recent form. He can get hot with the putter, and I think this course could suit him well, and he could win this event. Like a guy real down low, I mean, long shot, John Pack. He's going to be making his first PGA Tour event here. Florida State guy. He's strong, number one college player. I think he's going to fit well here, and he's going to be my favorite value play right now. And that's about it.
Awesome. UncleT, who's your favorite DFS player?
Yeah, there's a couple of them on the board. Again, I just kind of got off the live golf show with AP and Hoop, and for anybody that watched that, you're going to hear the same thing on this. I had the guys come over. Hopefully we'll get some traction from some of the viewers from there. But, yeah, JJ, I like Harold Varner III is one of my better point per dollar players this week at 8,500. He's from the area there. He's probably going to have a little bit of the local backing, if you will. But, you know, Varner, especially in a field like this, and we'll probably talk about it as we go on this bet show. It's, again, the field is definitely one of the lighter fields I've seen in quite some time. So Varner has competed at times, even though not 4 rounds. That's been his biggest issue. He's competed on, you know, the stage where he's been the leader after 18 or 36 holes. He just can't put 4 rounds together. So for me, on a track that I think he might be familiar with here down in South Carolina, I like Harold Varner. And another guy I like a little bit further down below, 7,500, Seamus Power. You know, a lot of guys might not have heard of him as much. He's been bouncing back and forth from the Korn Ferry. I actually have a lot of interest in a few of these Korn Ferry guys this week, fellas, because normally when those Korn Ferry guys bounce back and forth, they're not usually in a field that's this watered down. So I think the pressure is always on them to come over and compete and do well. But this week, I think the field is going to be where I think they can compete even more, if that makes sense. So I do like a few of these Korn Ferry guys, and Seamus Power is one of those guys.
Awesome. And Bobby, who do you like as your top play?
For me, I think it's pretty easy. Like, it's DJ, right? Like, he's the best play. It's a matter if he's going to want to show up, him and Brooks. I think DJ would be the guy that wants to sharpen his game, where Brooks was at the Logan Paul fight a couple nights ago. So not playing Brooks, but definitely like paying up for DJ and DFS. And then you get into builds where if you play DJ, you have to make decisions on guys that maybe you're not necessarily comfortable with. And I think that's a really good structure in tournaments. So it's kind of where I'm headed. Snyder hit on Snedeker, like Snedeker. I like Pat Perez a little bit. He's someone in that lower, like mid 7K range. I don't hate. I think that's
Snedeker. Is that still the dude that like putts really well but does nothing else good?
Yeah, he's really good with the flat stick, and yeah, he's hit or miss across the board.
Yeah, he's pretty hit. Yeah, he's pretty hit or miss. Like I said, Pat Perez, Scott Stallings, those are guys that I have a little interest in, but I just want to look at the numbers behind. I got on and said I like Stallings, and Snyder was like, it's around the green isn't great, so probably have to look back into that a little bit.
Now we'll shift over to the betting end, and before we do, I have a question for you guys. Any one of you can answer. It might be a layup for some, more difficult for others. See, this is the part of the show where I can usually make fun of Mangone. But we
can still do that. I mean,
I don't have that. You're right. Brooks Koepka. This is not a tournament I'm accustomed to seeing him enter. Do you guys look at this as a tournament? Maybe he's just trying to, regain some better form. I mean, he looked good in the last tournament anyway. But I'm used to seeing him in these like smaller tournaments where there's not a lot of top heavy talent. Do you guys look at it with him as value at the top, or as an event that he likely barely even tries to show up to?
Yeah, I think that's a good fade up here. I think he's going to look to show up like he did that the event before the PGA Championship. Came in, played his 2 rounds, and then in an interview before the PGA Championship, he even said, "Yeah, I wasn't even really trying to make the cut there. I know you really don't want to hear that, but that's what happened. I think he's just going to come in, work on a few things, get a couple of competitive rounds in, and then head out to San Diego." I mean, you can get him to miss the cut. Actually, I was looking at this. Brooks to miss the cut is 4-1.
Wow. Yeah, I mean that seems like a pretty juicy price. And I know we don't talk too often on make miss cuts because at the end of the day, it's really you really either got to do parlays or you like a long shot. Like in this case, Kep got to miss it. Now we'll slide over to the long shot outright. So guys that are over 50-1 that you find have the most value or at least have value. And of course, value is nothing if they don't win, right? But guys that you would consider that are just mispriced greater than 50-1 could be anybody. Now Snyder, are you going to Snedeker here, or is there somebody else you like that's in that 50-1 area? I'm gonna roll with Snedeker here. He's made his last 5 cuts. He has 8 wins in his career. I think he could add another one here. I mean, he's was 6 at the Villalaro Texas Open when he hit his irons good. Those irons get hot here. I mean, the putter's going to be good. The around the green game's always going to be good for him, and I think there's a spot where he could pop. 55-1 I've seen on DraftKings. Bobby, who do you like as your best value outright, greater than 50-1?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Vincent Whaley, 66-1. Obviously been golfing very, very well. He's going to be chalk in DFS, so I'm really not sure. In terms of my exposure, like if I like him at 66-1, I'll probably be playing him. But I just want to see where his ownership gets up. But 66-1 is very good value for Whaley, I would say.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, at DK, he's 85-1.
85-1, okay.
Yeah, so if you're into that. Okay. And Uncle T, who do you like as your best value outright?
Yeah, real quick to go back to if I could do the DJ and Koepka point, JJ, and Schneider's exactly right in his analysis of that. I think if Thursday comes and goes and one or both of these guys get off to a good start, right? They shoot 400 or 500 the first round. I think they will be engaged to lock in and try to win this golf tournament. But if they don't, say they get off to an even par or a +1 round, I think it'll be what Snyder said about Koepka. I think it'll be like that for both guys. I think they're going to just try to, you know what I mean, kind of plod along and kind of work on some things for next week and then catch that plane out to San Diego. But I just wanted to kind of mention that as a capper on that question. But some outrights that I like that are a little bit down below. I like Johnny Vegas at 66-1. I think this is a tournament where he hits his driver pretty well off the tee. For him, it's usually been a struggle around the greens and getting hot with the putter. So, but I do think he's capable and he's good enough to get that done. So I like Johnny Vegas, and I like one other guy you guys mentioned a little bit earlier. I think Pat Perez. I'm seeing him at 70 or 75-1 on DK, depending on. I think I hit it at 75 earlier. I like those two guys as value plays down a little bit lower.
Awesome. Yeah, I see a few guys mentioned Mr. Perez, so that's cool to see. Now Snyder, who's your guy that wins this tournament? Obviously, you can go chalky, however you want to go, but who wins this tournament?
I'm going to go with Terrell Hatton. He's kind of lower odds, 14-1. I think he's going to come through here. It's been a while since he's had a win. I think this is the spot where he comes through. I mean, he ranks.
Oh, get out. Oh, you love to fucking see it. Sorry to interrupt. That is a over 7.5 cash in Pittsburgh. Wow. 2 outs.
See it.
2 outs. Nice little 2 solo jobs. Sorry, guys. I don't usually get excited, but that bet was dead to rights in my mind. Okay, so sorry to interrupt, Snyder. Continue.
Oh, yeah, but Terrell Hatton, I think he's class of the field here. Ranked second in ball striking, third tee to green. Good bogey avoidance guy. I mean, I think this is the spot where he gets his next win. I mean, I think his last win was last season at Arnold Palmer, like back in 2020. So I think this is a good spot for him to pop. The iron play has been there. The around the green game's good. I mean, good. It sets up well for him, I think.
Awesome. And you said you got him at what number, Snyder?
I've seen him at 14-1 at Bet365.
Awesome. Okay. Bobby, in your mind, I know you're a is it JT guy? Oh, no, Dustin Johnson. So you is that where you're rolling?
Not on the betting markets. So you're only getting 7-1, right? With DJ, like UncleT hit Pat Perez. I think that's super sharp. We're getting a good number on him.
Well, I'll tell you this, Bobby. I mean, and feel free to answer, of course, however you feel best. But for me, asking the question, it's just a matter of who you think wins. I mean, to me, whether the guy's 2-1 or 8-1, if he wins, there's going to be value there. If you think DJ wins, I mean, go with that. But what do you think?
No, I do think DJ wins, but I'm just saying for the value aspect of it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. No, he's almost 8-1 on DK, so I with that. And Uncle T, what about you? Brooks Koepka? You're a Brooks Koepka guy.
No, I'm fading both Brooks and DJ this week in DFS and anything else. And it's not because clearly they could easily win this tournament. I mean, I'm not fooling anybody. Clearly, they could win this tournament by 3 or 4 strokes. But I'm just going to try to go in a different direction this week. If we was to have this show yesterday, Matt Fitzpatrick I was seeing on DK Sportsbook at 16-1. He's down now, I think, at 11-1, 12-1 on, I think, William Hill. So I don't kind of like him at that number. I would like to have him at 16-1. So instead, what I'll do for purposes of this show, I really like Sungjae M. I'm seeing him 16-1. And I just think he's just primed. And again, a field like this, he hits his irons well. His putter's been, kind of lacking. And I think this week, if he can get hot with the putter, his other parts of his game are really good. And I like the value maybe on Sungjae M. 16-1 is going to be my outright winner this week.
Love it. He's even 17 at DK.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. We didn't even go too chalky there. That was good. That was respectable. And don't get me wrong, I'll call you guys out on your bullshit. I'm not here to knob slob anybody on this show. All right. So let's slide over to top 20s, top 30s. I mean, I guess more or less top 20s because not a lot of places are going to offer top 30s, top 40s. Some do, like DraftKings, but top 20s are more of a common wager. If you have a favorite top 20 wager you like, and of course it could be correlated to maybe some of your DFS folks you like or some of the outright you like, but some of these did pretty well last week. Snyder.
Yeah, we hit on a bunch of these last week.
Yeah. So Snyder, from a top 20 perspective, is there somebody, I mean, there's probably a few you like. Is there anyone that you really sticks out to you as your favorite?
Yeah, there's 2 of them that really stick out to me here at pretty good odds, I feel. The first one is Vincent Whaley. He's been playing in all these tougher fields, and we come to this more of like a dumpster fire type field here, and I think he's going to be more of the class of the field here. I mean, he's rattled off 6 straight top 35s, and he comes to this weaker field, and he's getting plus 310 at FanDuel, which great price on him. The other guy was UncleT hit him, Seamus Power. He's getting 410. He's made his last 4 cuts. He's coming off a 9th place finish at the Byron Nelson. His short game's trending up. He's a solid iron player. I really like that price as well.
Awesome. So Whaley. So Bobby, that was I don't want to say it was kind of your guy, but you guys were kind of both blowing Whaley. So do you also like that? You don't have to go somebody different. If you like Whaley too, we can both have multiple people throwing the chips in. But is he your best bet, or you like somebody else in the top 20?
I like Whaley, but I'm gonna go a little deeper. I'm gonna go Chase Seifert at plus 700 on DK.
I don't even know who that is. I mean, that's incredible. That's incredible.
Well, what I'm trying to do, obviously, I don't know, you're just getting the value with the plus 700. Seifert's been absolutely fucking terrible. I just to throw it out there. He has not been good.
Is that Hudson Swafford?
No, not Swafford.
Seifert was pretty good early in the year, though. I mean, he's got that boom factor.
Yeah, so basically, Snyder hit on it. He looked pretty good early in the year. You're getting it's plus 700. So
how do you spell his last name?
Worst take.
Seiffert, I think. JJ.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, you got to work with JJ. Help him out a little bit, guys.
Yeah, this is like a whole new language to me. I mean, you're giving out guys that have been golfing for 6 months. Chase Seifert. Okay. All right. See, I can respect these kind of plays. Okay. UncleT, who do you like top 20?
Yeah, I want to mention one other thing, JJ, because I wanted to make sure I came on this show tonight. 1, because I'm going to do it every week with you guys, hopefully. But 2, I came on to take my L. I wanted to give Snyder and Bobby Gomes a lot of credit because I was not on Patrick Cantlay or Morikawa last week. They owned UncleT, and I wanted to just come on before I give this next play, and I wanted to tell them, good job, boys. You got it on UncleT. I'll take the L. But I'm coming after you this week, so be ready to look out. But good job.
That's the thing about the knee houses. Okay, they eat the L's. They eat L's.
I got those Venmos over well too.
I don't know about Big T. Big T is.
Let me tell you something. Big T on the Print Factory every week in NFL is just like it's like he's at a buffet of L's. Okay, the guy is just swallowing L's every week.
He has a hard time owning up to him. He's soft. He's softer than you guys think. But anyway, yeah. So I wanted to mention that. But my top 20 this week, JJ, I think because it's got some value, is Tommy Fleetwood. We haven't talked about him on this show. We didn't talk about him too much on the live show earlier. But top 20, I've got him plus 138 at DK Sportsbook. And again, in a field that's like this, I don't like him as much for DFS purposes this week, but for a top 20 in this field, plus 138 feels like it's got a little bit of value in it.
I know Tommy Fleetwood. Okay, awesome. So good stuff. All right, so I guess to end this, matchups. Now, what we often like to do is just, you guys give somebody you really like to target in matchups and somebody you want to fade in matchups. Again, it kind of makes it easier because there's a bunch of different books, a bunch of different matchups. Not everybody's going to be able to be in sync with who we give out if you give out specific matchups. But how about a guy, Snyder, that you would look to target in whoever matchups that they put him up against and somebody you'd look to fade in betting matchups?
Well, this kind of correlates here. Terrell Hatton's actually matched up with Brooks Koepka. Now I'm looking to fade Brooks, and I'm looking to –
I love it.
You got to keep that name going, Uncle T.
I like it.
But, yeah, I'm looking to fade Brooks, and I'm looking to target Hatton. And I can get Hatton at basically even money right there in that matchup. And so that's one I'm really looking to target here. And, I mean, another one I see here is Seamus Power. He's laying minus 120 versus Padraig Harrington, and I think that one looks pretty solid as well.
Now, who would be somebody? Are you on that same other spectrum, Snyder? Where I know you're against Brooks, so would you feel confident that in any matchup you see him in against relevant players that you would be looking to fade Brooks Koepka or Koepka?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't even think Brooks is going to make the cut. So I think anyone he's lined up against is fair game.
Awesome. All right. Bobby, you're up. What? So much pressure to follow that act. I mean, what do you? Who do you like as a matchup target?
Yeah, going back to Snyder's original Whaley versus Luke List. Vincent Whaley's like plus 126 to Luke List on Bookmaker. I don't mind that. I think Whaley's in a good spot this week. I want to see Luke List's ownership for DFS. I have to pull it up somewhere, but I don't know.
About 13%, Bobby, right now is what I'm seeing.
What's Whaley at?
I think he's up there about 17, 18, 20%.
Yeah, I've got him at 17.
Interesting.
And Bobby, who's somebody that you want no part of in this tournament?
Brooks. I think we're all pretty much. I think RPS is pretty much seeing the writing on the wall with Brooks this week.
And that's interesting. And Uncle Tim, interesting in your perspective because your relative is a big Brooks guy. So do you think he's going to be taking that same approach?
Who, me?
Oh, I was talking to Uncle T. I was.
I'm sorry. I thought you were still with Bobby. My bad.
Oh no, I know. I might have not even said your name because I'm weird. Yeah. So I know your relative, aka Big T, is normally a big Brooks guy.
Who? Big T. I remember
Anthony Wayne, as some know him by.
That's right. You got it.
Yeah. So do you think he's also going to be along with the fade, and are you as well? Is that like just a collective thing?
Yeah, I haven't talked to him. I know there's going to be no Wednesday show this week because of the watered down field. We'll have full wall-to-wall coverage next week with the U.S. Open, but I'm going to be like Bobby and Snyder mentioned. I'm definitely going to be on the fade Koepka wagon. Now, like I mentioned before, I don't think any of the four of us, including you, JJ, that don't know some of these guys as well, right? None of us would be surprised if DJ and Koepka won this tournament. We just wouldn't. We just don't think it's going to happen based off of, again, how things are lining up with the major next week and so forth. The one guy I'm going to target in matchups would be Sung J M. I know DK Sportsbook didn't have a ton of matchups out there. I'm not really sure why. I need to go and do some more digging into my heads up. But I'll be looking to target maybe Sung J M in some heads up. And I do like the Whaley against Luke List call because I do think Luke List will be a little bit popular. So, Bobby, I agree with that. I like that call a lot as far as that goes. And one other guy, if I can find a matchup that I'll target against JJ, would be Kevin Kisner. Because not that Kevin Kisner will be really, really popular this week, but he's a guy that has played this course before. He's a big name guy, you know what I mean, as far as in this field. And I think people may target him. And I'm against him. He's playing terrible golf right now. He's missed 4 or 5 cuts in a row. I think he made the cut last week before 5 missed cuts. So I'm going to be looking to fade List and Kisner as be my 2 guys.
Yeah, I like what Uncle T said there with Kisner. I mean, he generally doesn't play well in these longer tracks either. Usually he shows up to these longer tracks, and he said in interviews that he's dead money once he arrives at these places.
All right, so yeah, we went through basically everything, much shorter, which makes me think that Mangone is the rambler in this whole bunch. But I guess
I got a first round leader if you want one of those out there.
Yeah,
Snyder, shoot.
We're going to go right back to Brant Snedeker. He's got an early tee time. I think he's like 3rd or 4th group out. In his last 2 events, he's fired 66, 66, and then the 2 before that, it was either even sub 70 in those. You can get him right around 66 to 1 at DraftKings for the first round leader. I think that makes a lot of sense.
That is a nice grab your nuts type of bet. All right, so guys, some last words. I know that we talked on outrights. Let me just scroll through up here real quick as a quick recap on the outrights. I know that we talked multiple bets, of course, but as for value outrights, Snyder likes Snedeker, Bobby likes Whaley, and Uncle T likes Johnny Vegas. And as far as who wins the tournament, Snyder likes Hatton to take this down. Bobby likes Dustin Johnson, and Uncle T likes Sanjay Im. I have no input for this tournament. However, I kind of want to give something out just because of that D-bag that jumped into my DMs after watching the clip that was. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know 80% of these dudes, so it's it's best I just leave things alone. But as far as last notes from you guys, anything specific you want to talk about this course, how it's relative to the course last week, how there's any relevance at all to the Open's next week, right?
Yes.
Wow, the Open on Father's Day weekend. Okay. So any last words, Snyder? I'll start with you. As far as I know, you're a big Snedeker guy. Maybe a little more knob slob in there, or anything.
Yeah, I'm just going to be looking to target mainly those guys this week. I want to keep it smaller this week. I mean, next week with the U.S. Open, we'll open it up and take some more shots and stuff. But we're just going to keep it kind of tighter this week and take our shots and hope to hit. And we'll be looking for our 10th outright of the year. We've hit 9 through, I think, 18 events. So that's been pretty well.
Awesome. And that article is going to be up by what, tomorrow?
Yeah, it'll be out tomorrow morning probably. I should have it done tonight.
Awesome. Bobby, anything? Any last notes here?
Yeah, I think we pretty much hit on everything. Don't go too crazy. Obviously, with the Open next week, going to be firing a lot on that. So manage your bankroll well here this week, I would say.
Yeah, that's a good point. And Uncle T, any last words?
Yeah, not much on this week, but I'm really looking forward to next week. I think RPS and even this show, when we do this next week, hopefully we'll get together and we'll get Mangone to join us, and we're gonna have some great coverage for the people for the U.S. Open next week at Torrey. So from the articles from Coop and the bets from Snyder and all the stuff with our tiers and stuff and our Discord. So I think we're the best in the business at the golf in all of our sports, but golf, I think we got a really good team. So really looking forward to breaking down the U.S. Open next week on Father's Day weekend. Awesome.
I think because Mangone ditched us on this show or ghosted us, I think he should do the first 20 minutes of next week's show alone. Like we're in the back. Like if you see us in the bottom, we're there, but he's just on screen alone. He definitely deserves it. But no, thanks guys for hanging out, and definitely thank you. The Snyder, Bobby, and Uncle T for coming in and providing some helpful insight. So again, just as a last recap, this crew will all be rock hard if we can either get Hatton, Dustin Johnson, or Sanjay Im to grab this title here. And other than that, as always, guys, gamble responsibly. As we mentioned, the U.S. Open's next week. U.S. Open, right, Uncle T?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
So play it lightly this week. No need to go crazy. Half the bankroll at maximum. I'm just kidding. But either way, look, guys, gamble responsibly, stay safe, run pure, and look, we'll be back next week with the open chatter, and maybe Mangone will make an appearance. Okay. Until then, later, guys. Thanks again.